Today we are going to be testing out a full face of brand new makeup. I have stuff from About Face, McoBeauty, and stuff from Catrice as well. How are you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So yes, we have a selection of really interesting things. The main thing that I'm most excited about is the About Face foundation. So if you have followed my channel for a while, you would know that when this came out, I was obsessed with wanting to try this so badly. I mean, Space NK are knocking it out of the park right now. They've just got Gulfi. They are doing like Rare Beauty and Vive and all this stuff. And now they have About Face. They have so much on there. And I think it's only been a couple of days since they've launched. And as soon as I saw this on the website, I picked it up. So we have some exciting products to get through. Some of these products I have tried already because one of the last videos that I filmed, the audio cut out. So obviously I can't use that video, so I'm going to be trying them in this video. So I'm going to start off with primer. I might have tried this on the channel already, I'm not sure, but this is the Beauty Crop We Cherie Glow. This is the gripping primer. So I mentioned in one of my previous videos that Beauty Crop always have this like massive sale on, and they have this sale for like £3, £2.50 and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? It's going to be a perfect opportunity for me to try things I've not tried because I love Beauty Crop. I used to buy them a lot back in the day when they first launched in the UK. They were in Superdrug, and now I don't think they're in Superdrug anymore. You can get them in Boots, I think, but obviously like TikTok Shop and their own website, it's just like they're knocking it out of the park. But actually, like on TikTok and their website, like I mentioned, they just have these massive sales, which is weird. I don't think they're rebranding. I don't think they're closing down. They're just doing really well. So I think a lot of their older stock, they're probably just getting rid of it. But yeah, this is quite nice. It's quite tacky. I do look very glowy. If you want a dewy primer, this is probably up your street. So this has got cherry extract and hyaluronic acid. So I believe hyaluronic acid is meant to be there to help like reduce acne, so if you use it quite frequently it will help with that. So let's just go on to brows. I think I've used this before. I can't remember. So this is McoBeauty. This is their brow laminate. So this is their sculpt and set. So this is a brow gel which has some bristles on the end, and I think I have used this on my channel. I just don't have a new brow product, so I'm just going to get this. Normally to wear my primer I would use a brush, but I forgot, and it's okay, but my hands are slightly glary. So let's go on to the foundation. My god, so this is in Space NK. It's actually called the Performer, so it's not technically called like their foundation, because when I went on the Space NK website I was looking and I was like, it's not on here. So this is like another situation with Beauty Bay where they just didn't have it, but it was there. And you know what, it's £19, which I think for a brand like About Face is pretty decent. Like a lot of their stuff, like I've tried their blushes, their highlighter, and one of their like lip clicking things. Really great. I wish they were slightly more affordable, but you know what? They're not high end, they're pretty decent. And even on the Space NK website now, they have so much stuff. They have their kind of eye paints and they have the glitter eye paints as well. So this foundation is essentially meant to be a buildable, breathable medium coverage with a long wear second skin finish. So I've seen a couple of like YouTubers talk about it and have really liked it. So the fact that they like it, I'm intrigued. So this is in the shade LM1 Cool. So I'm hoping this is going to be okay for me. One side I will use a sponge, one side I will use a brush, and the doe foot is pretty decent as well. Like you can get a lot of coverage. Oh no, this might be a bit too orange. I mean, you know, good thing as well that there's a ton of shades. And I guess with me, I can always use a concealer. I'm just intrigued to see what it's like. So one side, let's use the brush. We'll use the sponge to blend it in and see how it goes. So the primer is a tacky, grippy primer. So let's see if it gives me any type of coverage. Okay, that hasn't really done anything. Let's try the other side with the brush and just tap it in. Okay, it's still done nothing, to be honest. It's no, it's not really done anything. I'm just gonna maybe add another layer just to see if it will do anything. I think this time I might use the brush on both sides just because I know it's a medium to buildable coverage, which is great. I just want some coverage at least because I know it's buildable, but I want it to be some sort of coverage so my products can sit on top of it. Okay, well, it seems to be sitting on my skin quite nicely. I mean, coverage wise, I don't think it's like the most amazing coverage. Like I said, it's medium to buildable, and I do prefer like a more fuller coverage foundation just to help with my rosacea to kind of cover it up. But I guess as like, well, summer's kind of going now. It's kind of getting to like autumnal weather, which this might be perfect for if I don't want anything too cakey. So let's just see how things add on top. We're going to go in with the MCO concealer. So this is the Brighten and Perfect. So this is obviously a dupe for NARS, and I have tried the mini version of the NARS concealer, which I do like a lot. It took me a long time to get it. I don't know why, but I'm just going to see how this works. I don't really want to compare it to the original just because concealers work in such different ways, and I know it's meant to be a dupe, but I just want to see if this will do anything for my under eyes. That's done quite a decent job. I mean, my under eyes have been okay recently, like they kind of go through phases of being really deep and then being okay. So recently they've been okay. This is fine. I mean, it costs obviously a fraction of the NARS one, so I think this was like maybe £4.55, and I got MCO stuff for like 3 for 2, and I did get some stuff sent to me by Superdrug. But this next one, this is a blush, so this is obviously MCO as well. So this is either duping Westman Atelier or the Road Beauty one. I haven't tried either of them, but the packaging is obviously like very similar. I've not tried either, like I mentioned, but with this, I do like this a lot. I've tried it a few times now because I've been using it like off camera. So I tend to use a brush because I don't like to drag the product on my face. So when you put on like maybe one layer each side, and you can see it's got a nice glow to it. It's not crazy pigmented, which is okay. I do prefer sometimes a bit more of an oomph when it comes to my blushes, but this is in the shade Peony Rose, and they had a couple of shades. They didn't have a big selection. I don't know if in general, but the Superdrug I was in didn't have a big selection. I think this is like £5-6, which is quite decent. So let's go on to highlighter. This is not a new highlighter, but this is by Revolution, and it's their Toy Story Buzz Lightyear, because I don't have a new highlighter, so I'm just going to use this, and I'm just going to add it on. This is not like the best highlighter, it was just there, and I thought I need to give it another go because I haven't used it since I did my review, and I guess that kind of says a lot about it. It's just kind of like an icy purple, so it's not like, I know, it was like £5 or something. It's not the best, but it's okay. Let's go on to eyes now. So these are by W7, and these are the Eyelust. So I believe if you get them on the W7 website, they're like £5. If you go to the beauty outlet like I did, they're £2.99 each. So I have a matte shade, which is called Standout, and then the highlighter, which is called, no, the shimmer, which is called Scene Maker. So this isn't the most pigmented. I'm just going to say it out now because, again, I used it in my video that I couldn't use. And I'm just going to put this all over the lid, but you'll see it's buildable, but it's not crazy pigmented. These do come in like a ton of shades as well, so if you don't just want a shimmer, you want some matte tones. They're not very like exciting shades, they're just like if you want a nice transition shade, or if you just want a shade that is kind of simple and to the point. So yeah, that was the shade Standout. Doesn't stand out, but it's okay. Let's go on to the shimmer. So like I said, this is called Scene Maker, and I'm going to use a brush just to see how it kind of goes on top. I can honestly say it's not as good as the e.l.f. ones or the Urban Decay one, which it's obviously meant to be duping, is nice, especially for £2.99. I don't think I would buy these at £5 because they're just not as special, if that makes sense. Like, I'm pretty sure the elf ones are like, I think they're about £5 each, I'm not sure, but those are really nice. This is just okay. I just said they're okay. I looked in the mirror and there's like nothing there, so let's give this a proper go. These are pretty disappointing, to be honest. Like, I shouldn't really have to always just use the finger, but use my finger. I don't know. It's just a bit lackluster. Let's end on the lips now. So I had this lip liner from Morphe, which I bought in the beauty outlet for £4. They have a ton of new Morphe stuff for half price. I don't know how they do it, where they get it from, but there's no physical Morphe stores in the UK anymore, or even America, I think. I think they're just online, but you can get them in like a pop-up store, which is like in Boots and Selfridges, and even Superdrug now. They have their own Morphe stand, which is pretty cool. But this is the lip liner. So this is the Oral Flirtation. I didn't even know it was called that. That's so weird. This is in the shade Fresh Fig. Okay, let's get this on because I know that this is cream. I used this in my last video, so let's get this on. It's very creamy, it's very pigmented. Yeah, and it's a massive pencil as well, so it's definitely going to last you quite a while. So let's end on the lips. So this is by Catrice, and Catrice is now available in Boots, which is a bit interesting because you can get it on Just My Look. You can now get them in Primark, and in certain Primarks they have their Essence stand and the Catrice stand, which is pretty cool, and now you can get them on Boots. So this is their Endless Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade No Broken Hearts. So let's get this on. I've not tried this formula before, so let's see. The shade works out quite nicely with this because when I picked up the pencil and this is like, they're not going to match, but you know what, they work really well. Okay, so this is my finished look. I think everything has come together pretty nicely. So the number one thing that I was looking forward to, does it live up to the hype? It's okay. I think I need to give it, obviously, like everything I say, I want to give it a couple more goes just to see what it's like. Coverage wise, it's okay. Shade wise, I probably didn't do the best job, but it's nothing new with me. I either go too pale or I go orange. So it's always in between. I think this is a workable shade. I think for me, it's okay. Again, I can always correct it with a concealer. I know I shouldn't have to, but concealer is there to do many things. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to film another video after this and I'll see how long it lasts. Everything else is totally fine. I have no issues with anything. I think the only issue that I have is what I mentioned before with this brown laminate thing, is that it leaves like white little crispy bits behind when it dries up, which I'm not a fan of, but you can always brush it out. Even though I did do that, it was still there. The eyeshadows are not great. I mean, the first matte shade is actually quite nice. It's nice, but the shimmer, a massive disappointment. If you want to spend a couple of pounds more, get the e.l.f. one. This one just isn't, it's just not for me because it just doesn't really pop like I want it to. And I know it's £3.99, normally £4 or £5, whatever. It should give me something at least. Like W7 have some really nice formulas when it comes to their makeup. The lip pencil, the lipstick is great. The blush is nice. The highlighter, it's nice. It's not a big, something that I would be like, oh my god, I need it. No, you don't really need it. So this is my finished look. Let me know what you think. What have you been trying recently? And thanks so much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because I film and upload every time I get a chance. So don't forget to follow me on any of my social medias because I'm always active on there, and I appreciate you sitting down listening to me ramble on. I will see you soon. Bye.